My girlfriend hit me with, "I need some space. Please don't reach out for a while." Then not even a week later, she's posting vacation selfies with her ex. So I did exactly what she asked. I gave her space. Changed the locks and sold the car that, technically, was under my name. When she came back, her house key didn't work, and her parking spot, completely empty. Anyway, maybe I should back it up and start from the top. It's still a bit raw for me to talk about, not gonna lie. So here's what happened. About 3 weeks ago, Qley Mason, my girlfriend at the time, blindsided me with a text. We've been a couple for almost 2 years, sharing my apartment for the past year. Things seemed mostly fine. Maybe a little off lately, but nothing I thought was serious. Then out of nowhere, on a regular Tuesday while I was making dinner, her message landed. It said, "Things are feeling complicated. I really need space to clear my head and figure some stuff out. Please don't contact me. I'll reach out when I'm ready." Before I continue, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, put likes, so let's continue. Man, it hit me like a punch to the gut. I mean, whenever someone says they need space, that's rarely a good sign. Still, I tried to play it cool and understanding. I replied, "All right, Qley. I get it. Take all the time you need." And that was that. She went silent. No follow-up, no check-ins. Which, to be fair, was exactly what she asked for. So yeah, I gave her space. Spent the next few days moping around the apartment, feeling like crap and wondering what the hell complicated even meant. Work helped keep my mind busy during the day, but by Friday night, I was bored and ended up doom-scrolling on Instagram. That's when I saw it. One of our mutual friends had tagged her in some pictures. Bright skies, tropical drinks, smiling faces. And there was Qley, looking like she didn't have a care in the world, cuddled up with Zach. That's her ex. The same guy she once promised was ancient history. The caption said something like, "Island escape with my person. Living our best life." I swear, my whole body went cold. Space to think. Huh? Turns out that meant jetting off to a beach resort with the dude she swore she was over, all while telling me not to contact her. That hurt shifted fast into something sharper, like a switch flipped. Suddenly, things were crystal clear. She didn't just want space. She wanted me completely out of her way while she took her old relationship for a test drive. And she was doing it while living in my apartment, using my stuff, and keeping me on standby as a backup plan. All right. Fine. You want distance? You don't want contact? Message received. That Saturday morning, I was up early and called a locksmith first thing. I had the deadbolt and the doorknob lock swapped out. Ran me about $250, and let me tell you, it was worth every cent just to get that peace of mind. Her key? Now totally useless. And then there was the car situation, which needs a little backstory. Around 6 months ago, Qley's old car finally crapped out. Since she needed something reliable for her job in social media marketing, lots of driving to meet clients, I stepped in to help. Her credit was a mess, so I ended up buying a used Mazda 6 for her. Pretty nice car, too. Somewhere between $16,000 and $18,000. But here's the thing. I put the loan, the title, and the insurance all in my name. We agreed she'd pay me back monthly, and for the most part, she did. So while she treated the car like it was hers, put up those silly fuzzy dice and all, it was legally mine from top to bottom. I never added her to the title, never put her on the insurance. So I grabbed the spare key I'd always held on to, drove it to a local dealership I trust, the kind that buys used cars outright, and gave them a quick summary of what was going on. Told them I was the registered owner and needed to sell. They gave it a once-over, said it looked good, and offered a preliminary quote, around $16,500, assuming it passed inspection and a title check. I said that worked for me. Signed the first batch of paperwork to kick things off. They said it'd take a few business days to do the inspection and finalize everything. I handed over the keys, left the car with them, and caught an Uber back to my place. Her assigned parking spot? Now completely empty. As for her stuff, I hadn't touched it yet. Still sitting in the closet of the spare bedroom. I haven't tossed anything. That just feels too petty. But I'll tell you this, she wasn't walking back through that front door unless we had a real conversation. And that's something she said she didn't want. Weird thing is, I actually felt calm about the whole thing. It was like I was performing some sort of emotional surgery, painful, but necessary. Yeah, I was hurting. Felt like a complete fool. But what really guided my actions wasn't rage. It was reason. She asked for no contact, and she made it clear she'd already checked out by vacationing with her ex. All I did was honor her request, gave her the space she asked for, and made sure my stuff was protected while she was off figuring things out. So now, I wait. Based on her Instagram feed, her best life beach vacation had about a week left. I figured we'd see what happened when she came back and realized her key didn't work anymore. Update 1. She's back. Showtime. It all went down last Tuesday night, around 9. I, Logan, 39 years old and trying to hold it together, was on the couch, half watching TV and trying to ignore the tight knot in my gut. Then I heard it, keys jingling outside my door, followed by the unmistakable sound of a key scraping in the lock. It didn't turn. There was a pause, then more frantic jiggling, and then pounding. Knock, knock, knock. Logan, what is going on? Open the door. Qley's voice, more irritated than alarmed. Not quite full-blown panic yet. I took a steady breath and cracked the door open, keeping the chain on. She stood there, suitcase at her side, tanned and clearly not happy. My key's not working. Did something happen to the lock? I looked her dead in the eye and said flatly, yeah. I changed them. She blinked. Processing. You what? Why would you do that? You asked for space. No contact. I gave you both, permanently. Her expression twisted. What are you even talking about? I just needed a little time. You can't just lock me out. I raised an eyebrow. Saw the vacation pics with Zach. Looks like you used that time well. Her annoyance cracked, and panic flashed across her face. Wait, no, that trip didn't mean anything, Logan. He's just a friend. Right? I said, dry as dust. Friends who take romantic beach vacations together, huh? While asking your current boyfriend for space. Got it. Logan, don't be ridiculous. Let me in. My stuff's still in there. That's when her eyes darted to the now empty parking spot. Wait, where's my car? Logan, where's my car? Her voice shot up, full of disbelief, like she couldn't comprehend that the world didn't freeze while she was gone. The entitlement coming off her was almost impressive. I kept calm. Well, first off, it's my apartment. Second, it was never your car. It was mine. Title and insurance in my name. And I'm selling it. It's already at the dealership. Her mouth literally fell open. You're selling it? You can't do that. I paid for that car. You made payments to me so you could use it, I said. You didn't buy it. You never owned it. The car's legally mine. I already started the sale process. This is insane. You're stealing from me. I'm calling the cops. She actually pulled out her phone like that was her mic drop. I just shrugged. Go for it. Tell them your ex changed the locks to his own place after you told him not to contact you. Let them know he's selling a car registered solely in his name. See how that plays out. She froze, phone halfway to her ear, and her face twisted into something darker. You're a horrible person, Logan. You planned this. I shook my head. You planned a romantic getaway with your ex and told me to leave you alone. I did exactly what you asked. You don't get to park me in standby mode in my own home. That's when a new voice chimed in. Her sister, Avery, 26, deaf, but she must have been waiting in the car and saw things weren't going smoothly. She came stomping up the path. Qley? What the hell is going on? Qley turned to her, already working the tears. He changed the locks, Avery. He's selling my car. He's throwing me out. Avery turned her fury toward me. Are you serious right now? After everything she's done for you, this is how you repay her. It's my apartment, I said calmly. And my car. She asked for no contact and jetted off to rekindle things with Zach. Check her Instagram if you need proof. We're done here. You're supposed to support her. She needed space, not punishment. Support her? While she cheats on me. Yeah, hard pass. She made her bed. Qley tried shifting tactics, now demanding her things right then and there. I want my stuff. Now. At 9 p.m.? Not happening, I said. You can text me with a date and time that works. I'll have your things boxed and waiting by the door. But you're not setting foot past the entryway. You can't control this. It's my home now. My rules. You wanted no contact? Here's how that looks. I shut the door gently, through the deadbolt. My hands were trembling a bit, not from fear, but from adrenaline. Anger. A little heartbreak still lingering in the background. But mostly, relief. That confrontation? Over for now. I could hear them talking just outside for another 5 minutes or so. Qley was yelling, Avery trying to play peacemaker while clearly fueling the drama. Then finally, they left. Couple hours later, I got a text. But not from Qley. It came from Avery's phone. No. Hey. No, please. No, thanks. Just, Qley needs her things tomorrow. 10 a.m. Be ready. So I replied. All right. After that text from Avery, I spent the rest of the night boxing up everything that belonged to Qley, clothes, makeup, books, random knickknacks. Anything I could find, I stacked by the front door. Honestly, it felt good. Like scrubbing out a stain you didn't realize had been there too long. Later that week, Thursday, I think, the dealership called. The inspection was done. Final offer was firm, $16,350. Slight deduction for tire wear. Fair enough. I drove down Friday afternoon, signed the final paperwork, transferred the title, and they handed me a check. Deposited it right away. Felt like closing a long, expensive, emotionally exhausting chapter. Now all that was left was pickup day. I figured it wouldn't go smoothly. Update 2. The Entitlement Olympics continue. Last week was something else. I thought I'd seen the worst of it, but somehow the entitlement kept escalating. 10 a.m. sharp Wednesday, just like Avery's text said, there was a knock at the door. Not Qley. Of course not. Instead, it was Avery and their mother, Lynn. Qley was apparently too emotional to come inside, so she sat in the car like some kind of Victorian tragedy heroine. Lynn didn't waste a second. She was already crying, well, the kind of crying you can pause mid-sentence. Crocodile style. Logan, she started. How could you do this to her after everything? After 2 years? She loves you. I stayed calm. Apparently not enough to avoid flying off to a beach vacation with her ex after asking me not to contact her. She made a mistake, Lynn pleaded. She was confused. You should forgive her. And selling her car? That was just cruel. It was my car, I said, deadpan. Legally. Her confusion is what ended the relationship. Actions have consequences. I opened the door a little wider and gestured toward the pile of boxes in the entryway. Here's her stuff. Make sure you take it all. This is her only chance to get it. Lynn wrinkled her nose like the boxes smelled bad. We'll need to check the closets. The bathroom. Just in case. Nope, I said, shaking my head. What you see here is what you're getting. I packed everything I could find. You're not coming further inside. Don't be unreasonable, Logan. What if you miss something? Then it stays missed. You can stand here. I'll stand here. Take the boxes. That's the deal. I could tell they were itching to push past me, probably to look for valuables or stir up more drama. But I wasn't budging. They muttered and grumbled, but started hauling boxes out. Took them 3 trips. The whole time, Lynn kept running her mouth like she was auditioning for a courtroom monologue. Called me heartless. Said Qley was devastated. Demanded I compensate her for the car. I didn't engage. I just repeated, it was my car. And she ended this. Like a mantra. Like a brick wall. Then came the texts. As soon as they left, the flood started, this time mostly from Qley. Her messages bounced between sappy and aggressive. I miss you. I made a huge mistake. Take me back. And also, you owe me for the car. That was my money. I'm taking you to small claims. I ignored the emotional stuff. For the demands, I sent one final reply. Qley, the car was legally mine. Title, loan, and insurance were all in my name. Any money you paid was for use of the vehicle, like rent. That's the end of it. No further discussion. Then I blocked her. Blocked Avery. Blocked Lynn. Didn't stop them, though. That's when the mutuals started chiming in. Friends I only knew through Qley started messaging me. Their tone? Accusatory. Yo, man. Heard what you did to Qley. That's cold. Selling her car? Really? It was clear she'd been spinning her version of events, painting me as some vengeful psycho who kicked her out and sold her stuff just for revenge. Pretty convenient how she left out the whole romantic vacation with Zach. I explained the full picture to a few people I thought might be level-headed. Some understood. Some didn't. People believe whatever version makes them feel good, I guess. Then came the dirty trick. Yesterday, I got a call from my landlord's office. Apparently, they'd received an anonymous complaint. Said there had been disturbances and confrontations near my unit. Something about yelling and safety concerns. My stomach dropped. It felt strategic. Like someone was trying to get me flagged or even evicted. Thankfully, I've always had a solid relationship with the building manager. I calmly explained the situation. My ex, who had been living here unofficially, recently moved out after a breakup. There was one loud argument, outside, when she realized the locks had been changed. Her family showed up once to pick up her belongings. Nothing illegal, nothing threatening, just awkward and noisy. The manager understood. Told me to let them know if anything else escalated. There haven't been any disturbances in my unit, and Qley is no longer living here. I explained that to the building manager. He got it. Said they'd document everything, but unless there were more legitimate complaints or actual issues, nothing would come of it. No surprise. I'm pretty sure that little complaint was courtesy of Qley or Avery just trying to stir something up. Bonus round. The X Factor. Out of nowhere, I got a message request on Instagram from Zach. Yeah, that's Zach. Didn't even open it. Just blocked and deleted. I don't need to hear whatever smug nonsense he thought he had to say. Probably trying to gloat or poke the bear. My reaction? Honestly, all of this, the entitlement, the cheap shots, the manipulative games, it doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me feel right. This isn't just a one-time screw-up on Qley's part. This is who she is, and who she surrounds herself with. People like Avery and Lynn? Enablers, plain and simple. There's no grand revenge plan here. I'm not out to hurt anyone. I'm just letting the consequences play out. Letting them slam face first into the wall of reality. The apartment? Secure. Entirely mine. That complaint? Dead in the water. The car? Sold. Money's in my account. Everything legally airtight. Her stuff? Gone. Communication? Cut off on all channels. And if she or anyone tries to get clever again, I've already talked to a lawyer. Any future threats or harassment? Straight to a cease and desist. The attorney confirmed everything I'd done was clean. The car? Solely mine. The apartment? Same. All those texts and demands? Empty noise. Trying to intimidate her way back into the life she torched. They really believed they could shame or manipulate me into resetting the clock. Newsflash, that's not how this works. Right now, I'm just focused on the aftermath, the emotional cleanup. It's hard facing the truth that someone you lived with, loved, and trusted can be this manipulative, this entitled. But better to learn now than waste another year in denial. Final update. It's been about 2 months since Qley returned from her little I need space adventure with Zach. Things have finally quieted down, not because she had a change of heart, but because I refused to play her game. There was still some noise. The smear campaign kept going a bit longer. I lost a handful of shallow mutual friends who bought into her victim story. Honestly, good riddance. If they were that quick to judge without hearing both sides, I don't need them in my life. The real ones, my actual friends who knew me before Qley, stood by me. They saw what really happened. They heard the facts. They supported me 100%. Qley did try to escalate things legally. Sort of. I got this clunky, typo-filled letter from some budget lawyer she must have scraped together pennies to hire, demanding $10,000 for her contributions to the car and emotional distress. Laughable. I handed it over to the lawyer I'd already consulted. He drafted a short, sharp response. Attached copies of the car title, loan, and insurance, all in my name. Explained her payments were for usage only, essentially rent. Even included a "you actually owe money" calculation based on standard wear and tear mileage rates. Added screen grabs of her, I need space, message, and the public Instagram photos of her and Zach, timestamped. And just to drive it home, a warning that any more false claims or attempts to cause trouble with my landlord would result in me filing for legal fees and a restraining order. That shut it down fast. Total silence after that. Her lawyer probably told her she had no case and bailed. She was never going to afford a real legal fight, especially now that I'm no longer footing the bill for her lifestyle. What happened to her next? Heard some of it secondhand, from someone who still talks occasionally with one of Qley's less toxic friends. She crashed with Avery for a bit. Didn't last. Apparently caused a ton of tension. Qley expected Avery to bankroll her life, cook, clean, the whole thing, while she did nothing. Shocker. Zach? Gone the second the vacation ended. As expected. He got his trip, his photos, his fun, then vanished when things got real. After burning through Avery's patience, she guilt-tripped her parents, especially Lynn, for money. Probably squeezed a little out of them. But they couldn't fund her champagne problems forever. Last I heard, she moved back to her hometown, living with her parents, complaining nonstop about how I ruined her life. Not a whisper of accountability. Still blaming everyone but herself. No growth. No reflection. Just unfiltered entitlement and a permanent victim complex. The best part? The silence. No more texts. No more phone calls. No more drama at my door. My apartment finally feels like mine again. I even repainted the living room last weekend. Tossed out a bunch of furniture she picked. The place feels new, cleaner somehow. Lighter. And me? I'm healing. I'm not bitter. Just done. Taking back my space feels good. Not just physically, but mentally. Emotionally. Every drawer, every corner of this place finally feels like mine again. The revenge? It wasn't some dramatic explosion. No screaming matches. No social media blasts. Just quiet, calculated distance. Just me respecting her request for space and letting her own actions do the rest. She said she needed space? Cool. She got all the space in the world. She chose to chase some nostalgic fling with her ex instead of fixing what we had. So she gets to live with the fallout alone. That's not punishment. That's reality. She took everything I gave, my support, the apartment, the car, and treated it like it was owed. Like it would always be there no matter what she did. The second she blew up the trust, that life she got used to went with it. Selling the car? The one she flaunted like it was hers while she was out sunning herself on a beach with another guy? Yeah, that part? That hit different. Felt damn satisfying. Not out of spite, but because it was the final, undeniable line drawn in the sand. When she got back and saw that empty parking spot. Chef's kiss. That's what accountability looks like. No big scene. No yelling. Just the absence of comfort she never earned back. She didn't just lose a boyfriend, she lost the comfortable lifestyle she assumed she was entitled to. The one she never appreciated. The one I built and maintained. Sure, it cost me emotionally. The betrayal hurt. Processing it took time. But I stayed logical. I stayed grounded. I protected myself and refused to let someone turn me into a backup plan. She thought she could play the long game, mess around, keep me on standby like I didn't have options, like I didn't have self-respect. She guessed wrong. What she ran into wasn't revenge. It was just the reality she created. Her entitlement didn't save her. Her crocodile tears didn't undo the damage. Her excuses didn't earn back the trust. She had every opportunity to make different choices. She didn't. And that's the most satisfying outcome I could have asked for. Good riddance, Qley. No more games. No more weight to carry. No more silence filled with tension. Time to really move on.